Hey guys! So, if you can't tell, it's presently a little bit of a wet and chilly day here up on the West Coast. No surprise, it's winter. But I'm here today to talk to you about winter training. So, it's not the coldest day it could be, but it's definitely a little bit chilly. So I'm presently on my way up to the rec center where I'm gonna do my run today and do my workout. And then yeah, we'll have a good chat all about winter training, my tips, my tricks on getting through it. Talk to you soon. Are the winters really that bad? Why do you spend so much time indoors on the treadmill? One big reason is for the after treadmill hot tub and cool down in the pool. So when it's like that, why not? Hey guys! So I'm back from the gym. I'm here with Mina, and as promised, I'm here to talk to you about winter training. So I'm first going to explain some of the key important elements when it comes to winter training, and then dive into some tips and tricks that have helped me get through the winter months. So winter training, the biggest and most important part about it is the opportunity to work on your aerobic base, and thereover increase your anaerobic threshold and your lactate threshold. Nice, Janelle. Lots of big words. What does this mean? So essentially your aerobic base is you can think of it as your endurance tank. The bigger your aerobic base is, the more efficient your body is, and the better ability you have to go for long amounts of distance without as much energy or fuel sources needed. So your aerobic base is when your body spits out, is your body's ability to spit out a lot of ATP, which is what your muscles use for energy. So what does it mean to build your aerobic base? It's known as the patience process. Usually you want to take at least a couple of months, 2 to 3 months minimum, where you have very little speed and intensity and a lot more focus on just running and keeping your intensity low. You do that so that your body learns to work very efficiently, and soon those slow paces become a bit faster and your heart rate regulates, so you're not spiking your heart rate into your anaerobic threshold, into your anaerobic zone, but you're working as a really efficient tank. Think of someone like Jim Walmsley. The paces that man hits with little effort is because he has had such a long time of building an aerobic base. So use that as your inspiration when you or your coach tells you to go slow in the winter months to help build your capacity. Use perhaps Jim Walmsley or someone of the sorts as your inspiration of what is possible when you slow down so you can eventually get faster. It's pretty cool because it means then that when it comes to race season, you won't tap into that threshold, your anaerobic threshold, your lactate threshold, as quickly, where you're putting out a lot of lactate, which eventually slows your body down and can maybe cause bonks and all those other things. So hopefully you can use that as some inspiration to work on your base phase during the winter months so that you can get faster. Most coaches like myself will thread in some quality into that aerobic base phase for the sake of form, not necessarily the same as during training season when we're using our speed intervals for the sake of getting ourselves prepared for our races. So what are some of my tricks to getting through the winter months through my base building phase? My tricks to getting through the winter months are treadmills. I would much rather jump on a treadmill and have a quality workout than try to slog it out in the rain and perhaps compromise some quality because the cold elements cause me to slow down a bit, or perhaps my attitude causes me to slow down. Number two, super helpful to rely on friends or run groups to help get you through the winter months as well. So find a local trail running community or some friends to do some of your workouts with, because it's good to still have that balance to get out obviously on the trails and through the winter months. Number three, obviously working with the proper clothing and layers is super important. You don't want to compromise your workouts or get sick because you're putting yourself into those cold elements unprepared. So make sure you invest in some good Gore-Tex layers or some good waterproofs. Obviously, come prepared with extra layers in the car is one of my tricks for my long runs. I sometimes will go to the car and change halfway so that my body stays warm and I don't lose my efficiency because I start to get too cold. Number four, focusing on your fueling during your base building phase. So especially in the winter when it's cold, make sure that you're fueling before your run so your body has the appropriate energy for your workout. Fueling during your run. You might have to get creative if you're in a cold climate with your water or your energy drinks, but having some fuel during your run is super important, and most importantly is your post-workout refueling. It's something I really work on with my athletes through the winter months, is refueling within that hour after you're done your workout so your body can replenish all the energy that it used or took up during that run, especially if it was outside. And lastly, number five, I do like to focus a lot on perhaps some yoga or some extra strength training through the winter months. That helps me get through the winter months because it's a bit of variety into the schedule and also keeps my body super happy when it might start to get kind of tight and tired because of the colder weather. So those are my 5 ways that I work through these lovely little winter months. I know it will be spring soon enough and that we'll be back on the trails and super merry, but what are your tips and tricks to getting through the winter months? Let me know. Or if you're curious to learn more about your aerobic base building and your training through the winter months, always drop me a personal message. Would love to chat with you about what that looks like. So happy training, everyone. Hope you're having an awesome winter, finding some creative ways to get through it. And don't worry, soon enough it will be spring. So we'll talk to you soon. Keep warm, keep dry. Happy trails.
See you next week, guys.